My family, and I was welcomed with open arms to our community here, and I'm just proud of being a part of this community. I'm also a member of TPN Atlanta, which has been an awesome experience and something dear to my heart. And I am so grateful for Tata for always. Thank you for inviting me and always having me a part of all my sisters. I'd love to be part of anything that's embracing and contributing something positive to our community. I was invited today to talk about business empowerment because one of the things that we were told, so my mom, like Hanat, single mother of 4 girls, came here about a little over 30 years ago from Sudan. And one thing we're always told is come here, go to school, get your degree, and go work to 9 to 5, 65 years of age. You're supposed to retire, right? And you live the American dream. And here we are. But, and I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that, of course. Going to school is amazing. That's how I got to where I am. However, there's more to life than that, you know. In order for you, here's the thing, things change. And as we grow, and you saw right now with the pandemic, a lot of people lost their jobs due to COVID. And you're supposed to have what's called job security, right? So I had a cousin that had the same job since we graduated from high school. For about 20 years, she had the same job. And just like that, she had to start over and look for a new job. Not saying this is what's everybody's story, of course, but it's very, very important. Part of the American dream is finding out your passion. Sometimes when you go to school and you think about, okay, what is going to be my degree? Are you choosing your passion or are you choosing what's going to make you a lot of money? Because what happens then is you're going to go to school. You might change majors so many times because you find out maybe this isn't lucrative. But that was your passion, you know. So even if you do go to school, you get a degree in something that is making you a lot of money, you still can go and follow your passion and turn that into a business. A lot of millionaires, a lot of people in America, that's what they do. They take their passion, they follow their dream, and they find out, how can I take this? How can I be of service in here to my community or whatever it is that I want to do? And how can I combine it with working? You don't really have to work. I mean, everything you put work into it, okay? But it's not just about going to work, you know. Honestly, I went back home for the first time in 2019. Never been to Ethiopia. Been back home and I honestly cried. It was just a dream. And just seeing everybody, and honestly, I'll say this. Going there, they live much happier than we do sometimes. You know, they don't have that strict schedule. You know, they get to visit their neighbors. We don't see each other that much. I don't know how many times you guys actually spend time with each other, go to each other's homes, you know, go drink boon or do things. You know, we don't do that here. But they don't know our reality in America. All they know is that when we go back home, they're waiting for us to bring them something because we're living the American dream. But they don't know our definition of the American dream. What I just want to tell you is, for me, I'm very blessed and fortunate. I did follow my dream. I opened my business in 2012. I'm a tax accountant. I didn't have to go do the 9 to 5. I love helping people in terms of whatever it is that you're trying to do. I help find you your passion and how to start your business properly. But also, it's a lot of things that you can do in terms of your passion. My new passion is really what's going on with our community? What is it that we can do financially, economically, so we can also progress? Honestly, I think during our TPN back in December of 2021, when we had our leadership program, and Mr. Mulgeta said something that stuck to me, you know. He literally pulled up an economic chart, and where we are, anywhere in the Horn of Africa, we're like at the bottom of the list when it comes to money-wise, economically. We're not even on the list. Majority of them are either like China or European, or if you're looking anywhere in Africa, it's not Ethiopia. It's not Eritrea. You know, it's not Somalia, it's not Kenya. It's none of that. So how do we put ourselves on the map? My job here today is just to share with you a little bit of what I know, but it's not to tell you what to do, okay? What I want to know is, I believe that if I know something that's helped me, I want to share it. It's not a secret. And by me sharing it with you, you're not taking away from me. But I just want to know, how can I help you? How can I be of service to my community, okay? One of the things that I love to do right now, my new passion, is finding out where are you, and when you leave here, because one day we will all leave this earth, what are we leaving behind? What are we leaving our kids? There's two things that you can always do. You can either leave behind wealth and leave your kids something, or you can leave behind whatever it is, your burdens and your financial struggles. Somebody has to carry on that burden. We are very fortunate we have this community, that God forbid, if somebody passes away, our community comes together, you know, and we contribute. But is that going to pay for your mortgage that you had? Is that going to continue to pay for your kids' college? Is that going to continue to pay for their dreams and everything else, to continue to sustain your house, so that way the government isn't taking, or the bank isn't taking your house again? You know, so what is it that we need to do? And I want to do is, and this can't be done all in one day, but I want to just tell you that we need to start empowering ourselves and educating ourselves on how to start building a business, how to take care of our financial situation. Whatever it is. And you don't have to be rich to open a business. You definitely don't have to be wealthy to have a financial plan. A lot of us, honestly, how many, by show of hands, how many people drink Starbucks? It's okay, you can just say it. It's no shame. Yes, Starbucks. It's not cheap, is it? Do you know whatever you spend at Starbucks per month, you can spend half of that on setting up a financial plan for your family. There's life insurance. And I'm not talking about life insurance through your job that, you know, that you're not paying for, because that's not yours, okay? Believe it or not, a lot of people always tell me, yeah, I have life insurance, I have it through my job. You know, or I have a 401k, or I have this. The thing is, your job owns your life insurance. And believe it or not, if you don't question it, if you don't look at your paycheck to see how much they're deducting, or if they're even deducting anything, you don't own that. The company owns it on you. You're just a key person. So if something happens to you, the life insurance company will cut a check to your company that you used to work for. They will give it to them, not your family. And your family will get a small portion of that. A lot of people don't know that, and they think, you know what, I went to school, I did everything right, I have life insurance through my job, I have everything, my family is set. But what you don't know is a lot of people have more education, and it's not just the ABC version. You have to start self-educating yourself on so many things that are not being taught to you. What is the difference? Why do you have to work very hard when others, it looks like they have it easy, right? No, they're just working smart. It's just that someone passed down that knowledge to them, so that way they don't have to go through the burdens that they see their neighbors or their friends going through. But this is something, you guys, that should not be a secret to our community. We need to start sharing things that we know that might help. There are other people here, I'm pretty sure, that's in real estate that can help us to understand how to buy a house, right? What do we need to do to prepare to buy a house? When it comes to tax accounting, what do you need to do? Don't wait till tax season to find out, like, what am I supposed to do? You're supposed to be strategize and find out, okay, ahead of time. Don't wait till January and February of tax season. Wait till they've actually started the year before and find out, okay, what am I supposed to do this whole year so that when my business stays afloat and my business is actually getting some money back, or my business is not paying as much into the taxes, because this is what happens. Unfortunately, I don't know if a lot of people remember, but when Trump mentioned that he doesn't pay taxes, a lot of people thought that was like a scam, right? No, it's not. It's just he's very smart. That is very legal. You don't have to pay taxes if you know what you're doing. You know, and I'm not saying go somewhere where you just get the highest refund, go home, and wait till next tax season. No, I'm saying that you have to understand when you're working very hard. Majority of us, we didn't come here, or we weren't born here, right? Majority of us came from a land of struggle. We came here and we're the chosen one, we're the lucky ones, right? But when you're working, you're not just working for your family here, you're working for your families back home. And sometimes it's so hard because they're gonna call you and ask for money, right? They're gonna ask for things and they don't understand that you're struggling too. Well, what I wanna do is I wanna educate everybody. You don't have to struggle. You just have to be able to be financially smart. When you're working so hard, just try to learn how to work smart, how to manage your money, how to talk about how can I open a business? How can my business stays afloat? How can my business profit so it's not losing? A lot of people open business and sometimes the first 5 years, a lot of businesses shut down. But why? It's because they're not talking to someone to strategize or they don't have a financial plan. It's so important to always get ahead of the game and understand. America truly is a land of opportunity, but it's only for those that understand it. So it's time that I just want to say to all my sisters and brothers, you have to wake up and understand. You know, we have to prioritize, we have to budget. Luckily, we don't overspend on expensive purses and things like that, right? We have too many people back home to worry about. But it's so many things here, believe it or not, that you're making a mistake you don't even know you are, because you just don't have the education. So it starts with, how many of us here honestly can say, we have life insurance? Why don't we talk about that? Why don't we talk about what's gonna, is it taboo? Is it that if we talk about it, maybe it's gonna come? Oh, no, bumot pinizaro. You know, like my mom says that. It took me 1.5 years to convince my mom, so I understand. But it's not, if you don't talk about it, it's not like it's gonna go away. It's gonna happen. We all wanna live a long, healthy life, but tomorrow is not promised. So wouldn't you wanna be making sure that you have a plan? So that way your kids are not suffering. You know, they're not just going through a burden of a heartbreak and now also they have to go through a burden of financial struggles because mommy or daddy didn't have a financial plan. And now they have to start fresh. I had a friend, and I'm gonna make it really short. He was Jewish, from a Jewish community. And believe me, a lot of them, they actually their money circulates within their community. You know, they don't shop outside of their community. Majority of them stay within their community for everything. Okay? Now, because we went to school, from high school, we've known each other, I've done his taxes for a long time. And I remember, and I asked him, I said, John, do you have life insurance? And he laughed. And I was like, I didn't know that was something funny. And he was like, oh, would you ask me that? Like, who doesn't have life insurance? Do you see that? He said, who doesn't have it? Why would I not have it? He didn't even have kids. And it made me realize that they are the richest community, guys. But they also teach their community something. How to make sure that they always have their financial plans intact before they even have kids. So there is no surprise. They know they're always leaving wealth behind, and we see that. We see them owning all these corporations, these businesses, and all of these things that they own. That could be us. It's not because they got lucky, but they continue to educate. Whatever it is that you're doing, you just have to have that financial plan. You have to prioritize. You have to budget. You have to be able to put something aside to make sure that you understand that this is something that's going to separate you from the rest of the world. A lot of us will put money in a savings account. Do you know the bank is making so much money? I'm sure a lot of people here are making the banks, you're making your banks so much more money, but they're giving you what? I'm a tax accountant. I get that little 1098 interest statement form or the interest form at the end of the year, they give it to you. Oh, congratulations, you made $133 in interest in a whole year. And now you have to pay taxes on that. That little bit, because you put your money in there. Do you know that $133 that they gave you? They probably made like $10,000 on it, or $20,000. But they're giving you a little change. And you have to pay the government on that little change. So there's so many things that you can do. There are things like a mutual fund. You can get 10 times more. You can treat your money like a bank. You can bypass the bank and put your money into the world market so you can make some money. You can have a higher return on your investment. This is just a little bit, I'm not gonna dive in on the specifics because we'll be here all night and I'm not gonna do that to you guys, but This is some information that I just wanted to share with everybody. One, find whatever your passion is, and it's not too late. Doesn't matter how old you are. The human brain never stops learning until we die. It doesn't matter. Like somebody that's 70 years old can go to school right now and can learn, and he can be in the same school with a 19-year-old. So it's never too late for you to continue to follow your passions and turn that into something that's lucrative and profitable. So you don't have to struggle. But it all comes from knowledge. I'm just gonna leave it at that. If you have any questions, please let me know.
Wow, thank you so much. I hope we learned something tonight from the business side and health-wise. Thank you both. بتعمي ኢና ነመስግን ክብረት ይሃበልና